Good evening. It's Donna Carroll. I hope you're doing well. It is September 27th, 2020, and tonight I am going to channel Teresa Teng, who was a Chinese superstar, a singer who's very, very famous in Asia in the 70s and 80s, and was known for her sweet, angelic voice. So she died in 1995, so it's been a while. But I thought we would bring her in as this was a request from one of the listeners, and so I wanted to do that. But before we start, I just want to say I hope you're all doing well. Everything's good here, and I thought we could do a clearing before I start the channeling. So, if you will, just go ahead and breathe very, very deeply, sitting up. Breathe in and then breathe out. And do that 2 more times at your own pace, breathing in and out. One more time. Okay, so if you would, just put your attention on your heart chakra in the middle of your chest. And I want you to imagine a point of light in your heart. And then go ahead and expand that light, going further and further out from your heart. Going 6 inches out, a foot out, 2 feet out from your heart. Imagine a circle or a sphere of light that encompasses your whole heart. And then make that circle go out even further and further. And now have that circle encase your whole body. And send that circle of light 3 feet out from your body. Six feet out from your body. Okay. And now in this circle of light that you've created around your body, I ask that you bring in as much source energy as you possibly can. So from the point of your heart, just meditate on source energy and have that source energy go out into the circle of light that you've created in your field around your heart. And just sit in that meditation. And so now we invite in angels, helping guides, to come into that circle of light and to help us raise the frequency in our sphere, in our little reality. Okay. And now I want you to think of something that has upset you or bothered you during the last week. And just go in, we're going to go in stream of consciousness. And so think of the things that have bothered you that come up directly when you think about what's going on in your life. And have the thoughts come up one by one. And as they come up, go ahead and dissolve them in that light that you've created around your field. So we'll just take a few minutes to do this and have these thoughts come up spontaneously from the heart chakra. You can use your breath to move them, but what we're trying to do is to get them out of our consciousness. So bring up the thought and then use the breath. Excuse me. You can dispel the thought. If you have selenite, you can hold the selenite to help you. And then dispel the thought that's been bothering you and let it go out into your field. And do this for each thought that comes up. Release all the stressors, all the little conflicts, all the annoyances of the last week into your sphere of light. And then there might be an underlying emotion that's coming up beneath all of these thoughts. If there is, bring that emotion up and just release it out into your field. So what we're trying to do is get a neutral feeling or a neutral sensation around all of those thoughts so that there's not a positive or a negative charge associated with them. Okay, so I think I'll just go right into the channeling. Like I said, I am channeling Teresa Teng, and this was a request. And she was a Chinese superstar, a singer. I think actually she was Taiwanese, but from Taiwan, but I think her background was Chinese. So we're going to try and bring her in and see what happens and see what she has to say. So at this time, I call in my highest and best healing and channeling guides. I call in the archangels, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, Archangel Ariel, Archangel Gabriel. I'm turning up the volume. I just realized that it was really low. Okay. And I want to say good evening, Angelique. How are you? Thanks for being here. So now that we've called in the 4 archangels of the north, south, east, and west, I would like to call in 10,000 warrior protection angels around me, and anyone watching this video now or at a later date. We ask that they block all negative entities, energies, and thought forms. And if anything's released by myself or anyone watching this video, we ask that the angels take it to source and transmute it into light. Okay, I ask that Yeshua come in. I ask that Yeshua bless this session and help me. Please make my words clear, accurate, loving, and truthful. And lastly, we invite in Teresa Teng. We ask that if she would be kind enough to come in and speak to us, to the audience, through me at this moment. And thank you so much. Good evening. This is Teresa Teng. I am very happy to be with you today. It is my honor. This is quite an honor, and I am grateful that you have called me in. Yes, I was a singer when I was alive on this earth, and I was very blessed with great fortune and great fame. And I started singing at a very young age, and I became more and more popular as I got older. My whole life was my career. I focused exclusively on singing, communication, and even spoke and sang in several different languages, just so that I could reach a broader audience. I was very ambitious, although my persona, the way I looked and the way I presented myself, probably did not seem that way. I was known to have a sweet, almost angelic voice, and I was very careful about how I presented myself in front of my audience. I loved to sing. I loved to bring my gifts to an audience, and I did enjoy performing. And I did enjoy traveling, at least I did at first, and I traveled quite a bit. I was lucky enough to be surrounded with good people in the industry that could promote my work, and I was lucky enough to have guidance from an early age about what I should do with my life. And I was guided, and I was taught, and I was disciplined in the arts from a young age. And the time that I felt most alive, the time that I felt most like myself, was when I was on stage. When I was on stage, I could let my feelings go, I could let my expressions be known, and I could emote through song how I truly felt. And so when I was singing those songs, it was something that I took on for myself. I became the song. When I sang a love song or a song about a broken romance, I was really putting myself into it and singing my life's experience. And I think that this genuineness, this honesty, and this transparency is why people could relate so easily to my music and my voice, because I was really, in a sense, not acting. I really went there when I was performing on stage. And I was very blessed and grateful to have a loving and very loyal audience. And I enjoyed talking to my fans, seeing my fans, and being with my fans, especially when I was giving concerts. I knew that I was very lucky and was very happy to be so well established. And I felt through my career that I always needed to top myself. If I had a #1 single, then I always felt like I needed to one-up it the next time around. So I did put a lot of pressure on myself to succeed, and that discipline and that pressure to succeed, I think, is also what made me very successful. But I want to let you know that life was, of course, not all a bowl of cherries. I had very difficult personal relationships and romantic relationships, and I probably, you could say, was not blessed in that area. I was definitely a career woman, and I lived my songs because I did experience some brokenheartedness in my relationships with the opposite sex. But that being said, it's okay. I realize that it is almost impossible to have it all. I could not have had the career that I had and have been a happily married housewife with 5 kids. You need to make choices. People make choices in this world, and that is what I did. When I died, it was a very painful experience. I died young in 1995 at the age of 42. And I had asthma my entire life, and I had a very bad asthma attack, and I could not stop it, and I could not control it. And so I did not have medicine that would make the attack go away. And so when I died, I left my body. I left my body, and then I came back into my body, and then I left my body again. So I was in and out of my body during the bad asthma attack. But essentially, eventually, it overtook me, and I left my body permanently. And when I looked down at myself, I was just perplexed. I didn't understand why I was lying there on the ground, not moving. And I was like, Teresa, get up, it's time to get up. I did not realize that I had passed. At first, I did not realize that I had transitioned. And I only realized it when I was looking around, talking to people, talking to my loved ones, trying to communicate, and nobody would answer me. No one would reply back. Then I realized I must be dead. And so at that point, I decided that I would go to the guides that came to get me. There were some guides that were sent to collect me after I passed, and I went with them, and I went into the light and had a very visceral experience about experiencing my life, not just me experiencing my life again. Yes, I went through the process of living it all again, remembering all of the words that I said, the conversations I had, the journeys that I took, my concerts, my fans, all of that. I relived my life and saw it from my perspective, but I also could see my life and the impact that I had on the people that I came into contact with, not just my personal relationships, but all of the fans that were touched by my music. I got to experience my energy from their point of view. And that was astounding for me because I did not know how much of an impact I had on people in their emotional lives. I saw people cry. I saw people kiss. I saw people react to my voice, my singing, and my music. And that was a beautiful thing and a gift that I got after I transitioned over to the other side. And now I am residing in the other side happily and planning my return back to the earth. No, I have not come back yet, but I do plan to do so in short order. It is time for me to come back, and I am putting the arrangements on my return and choosing the type of life that I will have and choosing what I will do and how it will go for me. And so you might wonder, am I going to come back as a singer or a musician? And the answer is no. I am not going to come back as a famous singer or musician. I already had that experience and lived that life, and it was an amazing, wonderful experience. But when I come back, I will have a much more private existence and work on personal issues that I want to see resolved, um, and worked out. In other words, I am going to try and work out aspects of my karma so that I can advance myself spiritually. Yes, I am interested in evolving myself spiritually. And so when I come back, I will bring the people that I had difficult relationships with in my previous life as Teresa. I will create opportunities again to work out the difficulties so that we can come to a better understanding and experience more love. One of the things that I would say is that sometimes it was hard for me to speak up for myself in personal relationships. And that is one thing that I will be doing in my next life, is standing up for myself with my personal relationships, stating what I need, how I need it, and when I need it. So basically setting boundaries and basically standing up for myself will be a priority. So I will be incarnating again in the next 5 years. And I am pretty sure I will be coming back with a Japanese existence, a Japanese life. That is what I am focusing on. And so we begin again, I would say. So I want to say thank you for inviting me into your consciousness, into your homes. I wish you well. I wish you good luck and much fortune and much love on your journey. This is Teresa, and I say goodbye. And now the channel comes back. Okay, and so now the channel comes back. All right, so this is Donna Carroll. I want to thank Angelique for being here today, and I want to thank Teresa for her recollection of her life. And I want to say thank you, and I hope you all have a great week. Take care. Bye-bye.